Hi everyone, welcome back to TV Junkie JennaRation, where you're going to get all things TV all the time. First of all, I want to just say thank you to everybody who's been so supportive since the start of my show. Everybody who has watched videos, subscribed. Please keep subscribing, passing it along to your fellow TV lovers. We have so much more to go and so much more fun TV to talk about, and I'm really excited. But this is my first early review. My early TV critics review, and it's of episode 106, The Garrison Commander of the hit star show Outlander. This is going to air tomorrow, Saturday at 9 p.m., which is the 13th, as it does every weekend. It airs on Saturdays. I got to screen it early, and I thought it was a poignant episode enough for me to do an early review. Obviously, there's going to be no spoilers. I love TV, so please, you're never going to get any spoilers here. I respect that. Before I get into the show, I just want to talk a little bit about the opening credits. I know that, opening credits usually you fast forward through, and there's been very few shows where the opening credits were so moving or haunting that I just love them. The Returned is a show that has an excellent opening credits, which I'll be doing a video about in my Jenna's Gems videos, which are kind of like hidden shows or shows you may not watch that you need to. But the opening credits for Outlander, first of all, I love Celtic women, and their sound is similar to the song used for the opening credits of Outlander. And I just find the song so haunting but so beautiful, which is so appropriate for this story. And the images that are used are also so appropriate for the story, because Outlander is very much kind of a gender or genre all mixed up into one. You have romance, love, war, history, drama, and I feel the opening credits really embody that. You have the beautiful dancing and the beautiful singing, which is the love part of it, and then you have the whip, the picture, of the whip, and the image of the blood and the stitching, the hard and the soft, the war and the heartache, the love and the happiness. And I feel the opening credits really get you in the mood and excited about it. And there's a big build-up, which I like, and I can't get that song out of my head. So I just wanted to get that out of the way and say bravo on the opening credits. Okay, let's get into this episode, 106. It was moving. So up until this point, we have seen Claire in a pretty familiar situation. She's obviously our narrator, and for her, she was thrust into the past and around people she doesn't know. She doesn't know if she can trust. They really don't know if they can trust her at all. Her story really kind of doesn't make sense, and she's been an outlander, so to speak, the whole time, an outsider. She has not been made to feel welcome in the group. They have someone always following her. They're speaking a different language she doesn't understand intentionally, and she's made to feel like an outsider, which is a terrible feeling. And we've all kind of felt that way at one point or another, and I feel like timing in TV shows is very appropriate about when to start and stop a storyline for a character for us as viewers. And I feel like this has an appropriate amount of time for us to really build up and feel how awful it feels for her to day in and day out feel like an outsider, and just that sadness that you wondering if you're ever going to get home, and you have these people who you think are maybe never going to take you in. So this episode turns that on its head a little bit. So basically, one of the people who have been making her feel like an outsider all of a sudden is the one that feels like an outsider. She is made to feel welcome, and finally, like, people want to include her, whereas someone who has been, making her feel like the outlander that she thinks she is, all of a sudden he feels like the outsider. So I really like that it turned it on its head a little bit. It's an appropriate time for to change up that storyline. I think we get the despair that she feeling that way, and to not only see her feel be in a little bit of a more comfortable situation, but to see somebody else that's been making her feel so crappy, all of a sudden feel like that was a good turn of events. We have the introduction of a new character that has a striking resemblance to someone that she has known in her life, the captain. Again, no spoilers here. And one of the more poignant moments of the series so far happens in one room, and I always give credit to the writers and the actors, and obviously the writer of the book, to have such a powerful moment happen in one room, really without a lot of movement, is hard to do. And I was frozen in time watching this moment. I mean, you really, I just couldn't move because I was so enthralled and engaged by what was going on between these two, between Claire and the captain. And basically, the captain, like me and probably most viewers, was wondering, you know, kind of, your story doesn't really make sense. What the heck are you doing here? And starts to ask more questions, which I was starting to ask as a viewer, going, isn't anybody a little bit more interested in where this woman came from, and especially during a wartime, and how she showed up where she did? And finally, this captain wants answers and is not going to leave until he gets the answers that he thinks are the truth. And that goes on between Claire and the captain at this table. And how she handles herself and how she answers, well, you'll have to see for yourself when you watch the episode. But more importantly, what happens after that left my mouth was agape. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what happened. And like I have said before, I did not have the luxury and the pleasure of reading the books yet, so I wasn't aware this was coming. But man, I was thrown off. I could not believe it. And I live for those moments on TV. And I know you do too. You live for those moments where you think one thing is going to happen and then the complete opposite happens. And for someone like me and you who watch a ton of TV, it's kind of hard to throw us off, you know, our game, because we've seen about every twist and turn. This really was a kick in the face to me. I did not see it coming. It was a moment that is going to change the lives of a majority of the characters for the rest of the TV series, in my opinion. And I was psyched about it. So I wanted to do this review on this episode because I felt like it turned a lot of things on its head. It changed the situation for our main character, Claire, which then trickled down to plenty of other characters. We have this great new captain and this moment between the Claire and the captain that so far is my favorite in this entire series. This is my favorite episode so far in general. I think you're really going to like it. And as I review, you know, hair flips, I give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hair flips. I know that's a lot, but like I said, any episode that can leave my mouth agape, leave me surprised, and have such a turn of events for so many characters so early on in the series, thumbs up to me. So you got to watch it. Episode 106 going to air tomorrow, Saturday, which is the 13th, 9 p.m. on Starz, Outlander. 8 hair flips. Don't miss it. Stay tuned for more TV Junkie Generation, and don't forget to subscribe.